Joining us right now with his reaction, House Republican Policy Committee Chairman, Congressman Tom Price. Congressman, we've heard the president's plan. Great to see you. And we've heard him twice talk about it and finally release it. What's different about what you're offering?
Well, what we're offering is the kind of certainty that the market needs. I think the Speaker was absolutely right. When you talk to job creators, large and small, across this country, they say, we don't know what the rules are going to be. We don't know what our taxes are going to be, how high the energy taxes are going to be, what the effect of the health care taxes, the regulations that are coming on board, the more spending that the federal government's going to do. What are they going to do with our competition? They say, we can't hire right now. There's just too much uncertainty, so we got to just pull back and tell Washington to stop the madness.
Now, you're saying that what John Boehner's saying is forget about tax increases, not going to do any tax of revenue increases, so that is off the table. So right away, you're saying to the president, give me an a la carte jobs bill. You're not going to get the whole thing, even though the president hasn't picked up the phone and talked directly to the Republican leadership.
No, look, to believe that the president's program would succeed, one, you'd have to believe that his first one succeeded. Two, you'd have to believe that taxes aren't high enough, that we don't have enough regulations, and that Washington isn't spending enough. All of those things are flawed. So as the Speaker said, look, in order for job creators to create jobs, they've got to have some certainty out there in the market. They've got to know that the rules of the game aren't going to change in the middle of the process. And that's not happening right now, which is why we're coming forward this fall in the House and passing a repeal of certain regulations each and every week. This week it was the National Labor Relations Board bill that we passed a repeal of, so that Boeing could actually put their manufacturing facility where they want to put it, not where the government wants it.
So, Congressman, I was a little personally, as an American, disturbed that the President and Speaker have not spoken yet because we're in an emergency situation and we've got to come together on something. So name a couple of things where there's common ground. Number one, I hear that you're for the payroll tax decrease and continuing that, correct?
No, I think that's not necessarily a wise idea, because you still have to have the Social Security funds be paid to the beneficiaries. And remember, that's what the payroll tax goes to.
Understood.
Well, there are a couple things that the President said that do make some sense. One, hiring of vets. The men and women who are coming back here and have put their lives on the line for us, we need to have special incentives to be able to hire those individuals into the workforce. Secondly, the infrastructure spending that the President talks about, it's all a good idea. We know that the roads, many of the roads are crumbling, and the bridges and the water and sewer infrastructure. That has to be fixed, but it ought to be fixed within the context of a regular budgetary process. We ought not be borrowing money from China to fix our roads.
Right. Okay. Congressman Tom Price, we was just touching the surface. Thanks for doing so. Thanks for joining us this morning.
Thanks, Brian.
Okay.